get that to the sander. So clearly I have laminated the two pieces together and beginning to get their final shape going. So I marked on the chop where the top of the bench is going to meet the bottom of the bench is going to meet the back. And I have measured out, and it just happened out, I measured out where I think it'd be the nicest spot for the screw. So I've looked at the golden mean, and according to the calculations, I would put the screw here if I wanted it to look balanced. But that's not what I want. So I'm going to go, I want it to be strong up here. I don't need it to be flexing so much. So I'm going to go ahead and go with my original thought there of 9 inches down from the top and 4 inches in. Now I also have the backer down here. That's this portion, and it is going to get a little bit of a center mark. Oh, come on, straighten up, get in there. I don't want to lose all my marks now. Just lost all my marks. There. So when I drill through this, it's going to get just a little bit of a center mark inside. Starting point down there. There we go. And this is an 1 3/8 hole. This is a cutoff from the old piece that I was testing. And that looks like a good fit, no snags. So that's the hole that I'm going to be drilling through to start with. And it looks like the alignment is off just a tiny bit. There was a bit of wobble in my drill press. But with time and use, that will be eliminated. So now I've cut the guide for the bottom of the chop. This is roughly cut. I've got a lot of refinement to do, but I just wanted to get the general shape in. It's a piece of 2x4 pine that I cut down to 7/8 inch wide by 2 inches high. And that is now going to go through here. I'm going to make this hole just ever so slightly larger. So this is going to be 1 inch wide by 1 1/8 inch high, so that this can slide easily without binding, but still has some support. Now it's difficult to see, but I have marks down here, and a line marking where this is going to go. So now all I do is mark on the inside here the general shape of that guide, but I don't cut it out to this size. I cut it out to a smaller size so that I have a shoulder, and so maybe, you know, first of all, it's larger than the hole needs to be, so it has to be smaller all the way around. Second, it has to have a shoulder here and here for the tenon to fit through and the wedges to hold it in place. So here we have it. I have transferred the lines. These outside lines are unimportant because it's going to be fitted to the unit, but these are the maximum outside. Ooh, I haven't got the marks all transferred. I forgot. I've got to bring this up 1/8 of an inch. This is to the top of the shoulder. So I'm going to be cutting out in between here and ignoring that. That's better. Sorry about that. And again, all of this is going to get trimmed down anyways. That's why I left it raw. So I'm not too worried about that. I have these. I've cut one in half, very crudely, to make two stays. What these are going to do is fit into this groove that I cut to hold the screw from, keep the screw from popping out when I use it. And then the handle will butt up right against it. So, yay! It just takes a little bit more refinement to get this to fit right where it's supposed to, because you can see it doesn't exactly fit where it's supposed to go. But it's better than trying to fabricate a whole new piece. I just power planed this down a little bit. Oh, there's some plain marks. And sanded it to get rid of those flaws. And now I'm going to insert this. And that tells me where to put these. I have smoothed this all the way down to create that to create a new profile. I can still see the glue line here, but I'm happy with this so far. And then I'm just going to soften these edges up all the way around. I've had to make these twice, because the first one I made that you saw me make, and then I had to remake, I glued together backwards. I glued this face to the wrong side, and I couldn't get the glue apart. So I had to remake it again. But this will be the last time. And I've routed out a hole in here to fit one of these ready-made nuts. And I'm going to recess it even further so that this is flush up against this face and braces it itself against the leg of the bench. Here it is. I've countersunk these so I can sand this paint off after the glue up is done. That was my problem the first time. I sanded it smooth and then forgot which side things went on. So this time I left the necessary faces painted so that I can take the paint off after the whole thing is assembled. Now, as it will be assembled, I'm not going to bore you with hours of me sanding off that paint, but the next task is to work up the handle. I can't just glue a handle onto this situation. I have to have something that I can remove. So that's the next task. I'm going to leave this flat for a little while so I can drill the hole for the handle. And then I'll finish that off. Alright, so I've cut a hole about the size of the piece of wood that I'm going to use. And now I'm going to test, after shaping this down a little bit, how strong this wood really is going to be. So, that much is going to go into the handle. This is the outside part, and the rod is going to go in here. So, let me get that. Okay, so this hole is 1 3/8 inch in diameter. This piece of wood is 1 1/4 inch diameter. If I set it in place and crank down on it, no problems. All right. Well then, I'm just going to finish shaping this up and get it fitted to the chop. I have come up with a solution to putting the stay in place, and it involves using this piece. This was a lid from an old pump organ that had fallen apart. I managed to salvage this one piece, and I do have plans for it in the future. But for now, I'm going to use it to make a spacer that will slide down with dovetails into the chop and become the stay. And after cutting it apart, it looks like this is my... And that's going to work out really great. The idea being, I route out this distance and fill it with the down to where it's going to contact the screw, and this will add a removable element in case I ever have to take out the screw for any reason. I can set this in place, still have the metal piece down here, and then if I ever have to take the metal piece out, I can remove this, move the screw over, and have access to these screws. So that's what I'm going to do next. So Daniel here, and that's going to be it for this video, because honestly I've already stretched this thing out too long for one video, and there's going to be a lot of fussing and fettling with the cutting the dovetail for the chop. So we will detail that in the next video. I know you all wanted to see the thing done. I want to see the thing done. But right now, this is where I'm going to have to stop. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to support the channel in some small way, it's not necessary, but in some small way, I have a tip jar on my channel homepage, and there's a link to it down in the description. Every little bit helps. Sometimes things get delayed because I can't afford them. So if you want to give a little bit of help, you know, it's buy me a cup of coffee sort of thing, all right? Other than that, here are some videos that I've done before. Here's a video that YouTube thinks that you will like. And thank you for watching.